Today on Suncoast View, Manatee schools are making some changes for safety, but will it make it harder for the students? We'll discuss.
New college students tackle the tough topic of Way-Sun College campuses in a new documentary that's already been seen in some pretty impressive places.
And renowned fashion designer Sigrid Olsen is back with us to talk about her new book and how moving to the Suncoast gave her career and her soul new life. All that and more right now on Suncoast View. Welcome to the show, and a big welcome back to Nikki Logan Curran of Hitched and Honey.
How are you?
It's always nice to see you.
I love being here. It's always fun.
We love having you here, and you do so much in the community that I feel like we get great news whenever we see you.
You're an expert on parties, so we learn all about what's going on.
I
in
love
the
to party, so good.
Well, Linda, you actually are quite an expert on celebrating. We saw that you have great thing to celebrate your grandson Leo.
My
Tell us.
grandson Leo was on the principal's list. It used to be the dean's list, the principal's list. He's in first grade at Bay Haven, and he made all A's. And I said, what's your favorite thing about school? And he said, making an A+. And I said, you can't always do that. And he said, yes, you can if you try hard enough. So far it's working for him.
That's sweet.
Oh, well, congratulations to Leo. And I know you, his little sister, Layla, was she there?
No, because she's not in first grade yet.
Okay.
She'll be in kindergarten next year, so she'll be at Bay Haven.
Oh.
That's a great school.
Does she get to see her older brother and celebrate with him?
She'll see the pictures.
Oh,
Yes,
nice.
she'll see the pictures.
Oh, well,
maybe he'll sign one for her.
Well, a proud grandmother, and we love hearing the great stories coming out of the grandkids. Well, another thing we love is our wonderful restaurants here on the Suncoast, and we want to see who's in the kitchen. It is Chef Evan from Siesta Key Summer House. Welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me, Joey.
Congratulations, you're open, and everyone's raving.
Yes, we are open. We've been open about 2 months, and we're really excited for what we have to offer you guys.
That's great. Now, tell us what we're going to be making today.
Today we are going to be making a salt roasted beet salad. So we roast the beets on a bed of salt, and it really kind of intensifies that flavor. They're not salty, but it really pulls some of that moisture out so we can intensify that beet flavor.
How great. And I
didn't
also
know that.
see there is a spread of,
We did bring some of our top-selling
Yeah.
entrees, some of our steaks, and some of our soups. So we're excited to cook today.
Looks delicious.
We're excited to join you. You also treated us to some wine.
These are some of our wines. You know, we do offer, we have the Corvin machine, you know, so we are able to offer some more expensive bottles by the glass if you're not ready to have a whole bottle. So
Explain to us that machine.
the Corvin machine is a machine that penetrates through the cork, so there's no air going inside, so you can preserve that expensive bottle of wine and sell it by the glass and not having to open it and spoil it.
That's nice, because I know a lot of times I will look at a menu and I think, okay, if it's just by the bottle, I might not be able to do that.
I've never said that.
So you would go for the bottle no matter how much it costs?
Well, I'm not usually there alone if I'm digging into a bottle, but I don't think David and I have ever gone and not finished a bottle for sure.
Nice. Well, we can't wait to join Chef Evan later on. And, you know, lots of great things happening on the Suncoast, but of course some weather on the way. So we do want to let you know that St. Armand's Seafood and Music Festival, originally scheduled for this weekend, for Memorial Day weekend, it's been rescheduled due to weather. The organizers are planning to reschedule the event to next weekend, which will be June 2nd and 3rd. Stay updated by visiting that event's website, seafoodfestivals.com. You can also find updates on mysuncoast.com. Speaking of updates and the weather, this is a great time if you haven't already. Download the ABC7 weather app. I have it on my phone. I check it constantly.
Oh, I do too.
We're all trying to plan our weekends.
I'm moving this weekend. It can't rain.
No.
Oh, it's happening.
I think at this point the rain dance won't do anything. I think we're accepting that it's coming, but obviously that changes constantly. So keep an eye out on that app, and everyone hopefully stay dry this weekend.
Yes.
Well, it is time for our first hot topic. There are only a few days left in the school year in Manatee County, and students will be doing them without backpacks. Backpacks have been banned at all middle and high schools in the county for the final school days of this year. The school board says this was originally enacted for security and because the remaining days are early release days. Well, earlier this week, a student at Bayshore High brought a loaded gun to school. The district says each middle and high school also owns metal detecting wands, but they're not used on every student every day. I mean, do we need to somehow move to checking each person that goes into a school building? I mean, we know this will slow down entry, but is this what we think is necessary?
Well, it works on airplanes, I think. And I'm wondering what's in those backpacks. Can't we, with technology, give them their homework for home? You don't have to carry water and all that stuff in it, I don't
So we
think.
graduated this weekend from Pineview, and she has had at least a 30-pound backpack for, I'm going to say, 6 years now.
What was
and
in
it is
it?
packed with books and projects and binders. Everybody wants a separate binder.
Oh, sure.
It's
And
crazy.
electronics? I mean, are we talking
Couldn't you do
laptops too
that
for
on-
kids?
I mean, we could go all digital. I mean, that would
Yeah.
obviously be the more sustainable route, but I don't, unless they're providing those to the kids. There's a lot of kids that can't afford to buy a laptop that can handle that kind of infrastructure, but I don't know what eliminating a backpack would do. If you want to bring a gun to school, you're going to bring a gun to school. You'll put it in
That's
your
true.
boot, you'll put it in your pants, you'll put it somewhere. So
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
sad we're to this place.
Yeah.
I can't really wrap my brain around it. I don't think it's eliminating backpacks. I think it's mental health services.
But we don't even know who to treat, so that's not
Right.
going,
Yeah.
that's not going to work because who would you treat then? Everybody, but you have to do it individually, one at a time. So we've got to do something other than wait for mental health treatment to solve our problem.
It is almost like we're treating a symptom and not
We have
the
no
cause.
idea what the
but at
cause
this
is.
point,
Right.
you know, I'm with Nikki. I wouldn't even know what to suggest. But if it is losing backpacks for a few days to at least eliminate some risk, you know, how can we not do that? It's just
Yeah. Or an
It's awful.
archway so they walk through and you know if there's metal.
they
That
have
seems like the easiest
They have
choice.
the metal detecting wands, and so it could just mean that people line up for school earlier. And it takes longer to get in, and obviously there's only a few more days left of school this year, but
Next year we've got to do something.
I'm afraid
Yeah.
it's not an issue that's going to go away. So it's something they have to think about through the summer. Scary stuff. A surprising story out of the Vatican this week that Pope Francis reportedly told a gay man God made him that way and God loves him. The man was a survivor of clerical sexual abuse and says the Pope told him it does not matter to God that he is gay, which is arguably one of the most accepting comments uttered by the leader of the Roman Catholic Church. This is being embraced by the LGBT community as another sign of the Pope's desire to make gay people feel welcomed and loved in the Catholic Church. What do we think about this? This Pope seems to be spreading a message of inclusion all around.
Everything I believe about Christianity says this world is about love.
Right.
Our purpose in this world is love. And I think the Pope is spreading that. And he can make a difference by saying this is acceptable. This is God's choice, so don't question it. So I think he can really make a difference in spreading the love
Right.
and making not accepting certain people wrong. So I just really cheer him on and hope he'll step out in public and say this
That's
now.
exactly what
Yeah.
I was about to say. Say it again and say it out loud.
Yes.
And advocate for that kind of love. Because when you break down virtually any religion, that's the core of it,
Mm-hmm.
is love and kindness. And really, it's not our job to judge. If
Yes.
you're really following
that
these
very
practices,
plainly in the
right? It's not
Bible.
your job. Your job is to be kind and loving and accepting. That's your job on earth. The rest is up to the higher ups. But you know, he needs to say it out loud. And it
Yes,
really, if he
yes.
really means it, this is the time. This is the time when we have so much breakdown and so much just hatred and lack of diversity and inclusion. This is the time to say it out loud.
But we've always had that lack of inclusion, but now I think we're open. We're open to changing things, to making things better for everybody, and to doing away with all these old stereotypes.
I think I agree, and I think that we're seeing in the younger generation. Obviously, I think we're seeing less people turning to the church, falling away from religion, and obviously we are missing a sense of community.
Right.
And so if it is a message of hey, our doors are open, all of our doors are open, this Pope has really kind of been breaking a lot of barriers, especially he embraced social media, technology.
Right.
I'm excited to see what's next. I agree with you that this would mean so much more if it was said publicly. The Vatican will never, confirm anything that the Pope says in that regard.
Yet.
But it would
But
make
he
a
could
lot.
stand out there and say it. And then he could disperse a lot of rumors, a lot of pain and suffering. What a great thing that would
Yes.
be.
We're
in
so
our lifetime.
divided right now on so
Right.
many things. It would just be nice to come together. And,
Yes.
and this looks like a small step,
baby step.
but,
Yes.
but a big step in other regards. All right, let's talk music. Does playing your favorite music not have the same positive effect on your mood that you feel like it used to? Well, researchers say that there might be a legit reason why. A new study says that pop music has gotten sadder in the past 30 years. Scientists analyzed the acoustic properties and the moods describing the sounds of pop songs over the past 30 years and found that happiness and brightness in music has gone down. Sad sounds have increased. However, songs are becoming more danceable and party-like. Doesn't seem like those two can happen at the same time. However, popularity charts indicate the public seems to prefer happy sounds. Interestingly, a larger percentage of female artists have had successful songs in the past 3 decades. Do you go to sad music when you think about
Never.
your favorite songs?
Only when I'm very, very sad. Usually I want something to wake me up and make me feel good and powerful.
I do not like sad anything.
When I looked
Not
at,
sad songs,
I wanted to
nothing.
see what songs they were specifically talking about. So when we looked back, 1985 had "Glory Days" by Bruce
yeah.
Springsteen, and it had the Eurythmics, "Could I Lie to You," and had songs that were a little happier. And
Yeah.
then we have a lot of Sam Smith these days. You know,
Right.
"Stay With Me," a little sadder sentiments.
Well, Stay With Me is pretty positive in its words anyway.
A little. It seems a little more emotionally driven rather than, you know,
Yeah.
remember the music of today's something great's going to
Like,
happen
what happened
today.
to girls just want to have fun?
Yes,
Come
yes,
on.
that's what they're saying. That we're,
Yeah.
we're going
Those girls
toward.
got married and had children.
Yeah, we're all in Carline now.
All right, well, speaking of children, a new family movie about the life of show dogs didn't really make a big splash at the box office last weekend when it opened, but suddenly everyone is talking about it, and it's not really a good thing. Show Dogs contains 2 scenes where a dog has to be trained for his examination, where the judges will inspect the dogs all over, including their private parts. But parents are saying that the message of tolerating the unwelcome touching sends a bad message to younger viewers who might take the scene the wrong way and think it's okay for strangers to touch them. The movie's producers have apologized for these scenes being taken the wrong way. They're actually recutting the movie to remove any mentions of these scenes. What do we think?
I think that's going a little too far.
I
would
agree.
not be. I would not be insulted by that. Okay, take it out if somebody is, because it's not necessary to the storyline. But I think people are just looking for something to get upset about. Look at the real world. Change some of the terrible things going on here. Don't
Be
worry
mad
about
at the
that.
dog shows. That really happens.
Yes.
Leave the movie
So
alone.
if
It
you-
actually happens in
If
the
you
dog
missed,
shows.
the dog masquerades as a show dog and then has to, go through
Right.
all a show dog does, which is inspection. No, do we want a scene that's going to be
We don't need to
telling
see
kids
that
it's
in the
okay?
dog show.
Right. Now, this is also on the heels. Remember the Peter Rabbit film where, they made fun of an allergy in an EpiPen, and so a lot of parents were protesting that. Are we too sensitive?
Oh, I think we are so far too sensitive about things like that. There are real things in this world to worry about. But I think that's one way of getting away from those real things. We worry about the little things too much.
This could be a conversation piece. I mean, if you really think it's sending that message to your kid, now I say this as I'm not a parent, but this
Right,
could
that's
be a
an
reason.
opportunity for a conversation.
Yes, hey, I know the kid's playing a show dog, but do you know that it's not okay for
Right.
a stranger? You have the right to say no. If you're that concerned, I think
Yeah.
use this as a teaching opportunity. Don't
Right.
just delete it.
And say
can't
the dog
hate
should have
everything.
said no.
Yes,
The dog
yes.
should not have allowed that.
Oh.
And then you get you make a real important point that the kid will remember.
I think now we're going to have a lot of nervous filmmakers, just afraid
Yes.
to put out, which, well, we'll see. Now, all right, here's something to watch. We're going to lighten things up a little bit. It's been a fun day. You don't want to miss this ABC special. It's a 2-night special, The Last Days of Michael Jackson. This 2-hour-long special has never before seen interviews with those closest to Jackson. It actually premieres tonight, Thursday, May 24th at 8 p.m. on ABC. This is fascinating. I'm very excited to watch this. Will you watch this? Are you interested in Michael Jackson?
Yes, because people were really mean to him when he was alive. I mean, now we look back and say how much we love Michael Jackson. People were not saying that. I went to one of his concerts once and people were saying, oh, how could you go to that? I mean, people were really treating him really badly for a while. So I just wish he was here to see now he's loved.
Right, and that's the thing. Like, you need to share with people that you love them, and not have, oh, they were great, and then post about your 10 top favorite songs.
Yes, after
but
they're
you were
gone.
very quick to judge his appearance or whatever prior to his death. So
And a lot of stuff, a lot of bad stuff at the end. I mean, and I think this title's a little deceiving because this series will go from a lot of his upbringing to now. So it says The Last Days of Michael Jackson, but we're really going to see some insight into
full life story?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
Oh,
that's
I
what I
love that.
understand. So we'll be watching, and we're going to talk about it tomorrow on the show for sure. All right, it is time to check in with our happy hour forecast. Very important these days. When we come back, we're going to meet a new college student with an important new documentary.
Good afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Looks like the Invest area, number 90L, is going to turn into a tropical depression or possibly tropical storm before the season starts. 90% chance now of that developing. It's just off the coast of the Yucatan Peninsula is where the heavy weather is, but the low itself is still over land. And the forecast, again, 90% chance in the next 5 days, 70 in the next 2 days. Those numbers have really come up as of late, and all the models are still suggesting a turn toward the Mississippi coast as well as the panhandle of Florida. It's staying away from Florida as far as the center goes, but a lot of the rough weather will be to the right of that, and we can see that with this particular GFS forecast, which has shifted to the left a little bit, but still that band of showers and storms that gets very close to us. And since the low really hasn't been established quite yet and there has been no forecast models that have come out in terms of cone of uncertainty, it's still up in the air, but it looks as though our threat is lessening in terms of getting any kind of strong wind here. We'll still see some pretty good rainfall. Details at 5.
We know there's racism in this world, but we usually believe it's among the ignorant and the uneducated. But new college student Miles Iton, also a winner of the prestigious Fulbright Fellowship Scholarship, by the way, has produced a documentary on racism in academia. It's called Sincerely the Black Kids. Welcome, Miles.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys. Hi, Mom.
Good relationship there. So tell us about your documentary.
Sure. This documentary was worked on by a small team of myself, Shakira Rifos, and videographer Eduardo Correa, and it documents both my time as the student body president of New College of Florida, as well as other black student leaders at other campuses who I've met through conferences or other get-togethers, who just so happen to share the same experiences that me and my cabinet did as black and brown students, newly seizing power on institutions that aren't used to seeing us in those positions.
So you did experience racism.
Yes, which is often a difficult thing to say, because when I say racism, that triggers so many different things in people's minds, and I think people go straight looking for, oh, how many N-words were you called, or how many different 1960s flashbacks do I see in your story, not realizing that racism is this multiplicitous thing that affects us not only just in the intent of what someone does to you, but in its effect.
Now, you've done some pretty impressive things with this documentary. Tell me about Sundance.
Yeah, shout out to Sundance and the James L. Knight Foundation. My film was selected as one of the fellows for the short film intensive. So we spent a day workshopping with some of the Sundance people and other filmmakers from the Florida area specifically. And it was a great opportunity to commune with other filmmakers and other truth tellers and find out, okay, like our story has a space in the film world as well, which I was very excited to see.
And you were collaborating with some people from other universities, other colleges around the country?
Yes, we went to Clemson University in South Carolina, we went to Cornell University in Ithaca, New York, and we also went to American University in Washington, D.C.
Wow.
So we just so happened to collage all these stories on so many different kinds of campuses. Like New College of Florida doesn't even have 1,000 students versus Clemson's like multiple digits over us, versus Cornell being an Ivy League institution, which has its own connotations, versus Washington, D.C., which is an inherently political space to occupy.
Yeah.
When you reached out to them to work with them, were they receptive? Like, yes, come in. We want to talk about this as well. We want to lend our voice.
Yes, with the exception of Jaron Stewart, I actually met most of the students beforehand and heard about their instances, and it was only after my term as president finished that I kind of gave Shakira a passing, hey, this would probably be a good idea. She was like, word, and we did it. Other than Jaron Stewart, who we actually just saw a news clip of what happened to him at Clemson, and I reached out and said, hey, they kind of got you messed up.
And he answered.
Yes, turns out a strange man saying, hey, let me come and film your experiences on camera works out sometimes.
Oh, very
Sometimes.
good. Well, you say that universities and colleges are really a battleground for racial politics. How is that?
I think in today's atmosphere, what we're seeing a lot of is college campuses being the recruiting grounds for a lot of different political ideologies. So, for example, you might not see it down here at New College, which is small, or like in Sarasota because Ringling's an art school, but you can see different like like what happened at Charlottesville, which was on the University of Virginia campus, or with a lot of conservative or far left or far right speakers going to campuses and having protests and just uprisings. And what we forget in a lot of that is the students who actually hold these identities that people are arguing about have to stay on these campuses after the uproar is caused and have to deal with what goes on after all the hoopla, which isn't always just, you know, in this social media age of people seeing things and forgetting about it. These are
They're
real.
living it.
These
Yes.
are real lived experiences. Yes.
Yeah. So what do you hope for your documentary? What do you hope that will happen because of it?
I hope that students, white, black, and otherwise, can see this documentary and have a better idea of what they're going into. Too often, I think we try to push, especially students of color, to just say, hey, go to a university, but also go to a university where you know it's a primarily white institution, because you know to some people that codes money, prestige, whatever the case may be. But even for these students and these institutions, I think we should show them what has happened before and what has the possibility to keep happening before, especially for like Sarasota, which is expanding rapidly, is of course the colleges are going to want to bring in a whole bunch of new students of color from around, you know, the country.
Right.
Obviously, for some reason, I don't know why they're not reaching out to Booker, but hey.
We got a lot of smart people there. Thank you so much. This is so exciting.
problem.
We're so proud of you.
Thank you.
Great
Thanks for having
job. And to see more of Sincerely the Black Kids documentary, go to their website. Next, more movie chat before the upcoming holiday weekend.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score.
It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach.
Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free.
You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night, or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night, and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at NationalGuard.com.
It is Memorial Day weekend, and with the upcoming weather, a lot of people will be heading indoors to check out what might be new in movie theaters. Well, on some level, the service Movie Pass, it seemed a little bit too good to be true, and perhaps it really was, as it's now at risk of shutting down. The $10 a month movie ticket service reportedly has only 2 months' worth of revenue left. Analysts are saying MoviePass would likely shut down very soon, but since the report was made, MoviePass's CEO has downplayed these concerns, saying they're still going forward. Now, this service, it sounds too good to be true. It seems too good to be true. It started off as $30 a month. Now it's down to $10. You can see as many movies as you would like. You just can't repeat the same movie. I'm wondering, what was the master plan for this
Well,
service?
it seems to me it was to get you in there to buy popcorn and Cokes and refreshments.
That's what I would think.
The ticket is like $5, $10, and then I come out with $30 worth of food per person. So that looks like where they make their money now.
But
how do they make their money?
So, all right, so our producer Matt actually uses this, and he has a theory that you as the consumer, as the moviegoer, you're basically the product that MoviePass is shifting and trying to drive. So if they were to take it out of certain theaters, say for example if they took it out of AMC theaters, they now have bargaining power over AMC because they could say we have X amount of users and they're not going to come to your movies. So, you know, they could be in the process of just, yes, they know they're losing money, but they're just trying to get their pool of dedicated, you know, their tribe.
$10? I mean, we're a family of 4. We're not getting out of a movie for under $100.
No, no.
It's mostly me snacking. But,
but the snacking's not included.
I know, right? But if it's only 2 months, I'm still downloading it immediately because then it's summertime.
Yes, absolutely.
Get it. Download.
All right, but the secret might be out, but we don't know how much longer. We'll keep an eye on it. All right, speaking of movies, have you ever walked out of a movie? And if so, why? The House That Jack Built is a serial killer movie that was at the Cannes Film Festival. It prompted a mass walkout based on scenes of murdering women and children. There are other lists of every year of movies that were deemed so bad that people walked out before the films were through. In that case, it was obviously violence and graphic material. For any reason, have you ever walked out of a movie?
Oh, I hate to admit this. I have Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis because I just thought they were so silly I couldn't sit there and watch it any longer. You would think it would be violence that I would protest, but no, it was the slapstick comedy.
You said, no, this isn't for me.
No, this is ridiculous.
It was just too silly?
Yes, it's just too silly.
I'm not like a slapstick comedy kind of girl. I've only walked out on one film, and it was Saving Private Ryan. I did go back in, but that was the first time I'd ever been old enough to really understand the power of war and the turmoil that took on a family. And I'd never like envisioned my dad in that light before, you know, and I was old enough to really get it, and I was just sobbing, and I had to go and take a deep breath and compose myself, and I went back in, and I've watched it many, many times since then. But that's the only time I've fallen asleep.
Oh yes, I fall asleep
but
all
I've
the
never
time.
left.
Me too. I've fallen asleep, and when I woke up, nobody was there.
You had the place to yourself. I don't think I've walked out of a movie. I wanted to. American Beauty, great movie. I had to go to the bathroom so badly, and the last 10 minutes of the movie are in a downpour of rain, and I just was sitting there going, I can't stay here anymore, but I can't leave this movie. So as soon as the credits hit, I ran. So but no, I haven't really walked out for any other reason. All right, well.
We're doing good. We're being respectful.
Yes, if you're going to the movies this weekend, we hope that you stay for the whole thing, and we hope you can do it for $10 a month.
Yep, download.
All right, coming up next, how to stay safe as we head into the summer. Stay safe while swimming.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast. Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-652-3012. That's 1-800-652-3012. Call now 1-800-652-3012. For a free brochure, call 1-800-652-3012.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. Gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. so much fun. Mwah.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
Welcome back to Suncoast View. Let's check back in the kitchen with Chef Evan from Siesta Key Summer House. All right, and Chef, you know, season is over. I know getting to Siesta Key seems to be a little bit easier now.
It does. It took me less than 10 minutes to get to work today.
Oh,
you know
nice.
What I mean? So it's really slowed down, and we want you guys to come out and really experience what we have to offer now that you're not having to fight the traffic.
Yes, and speaking of traffic, also parking. I understand you have an option
we offer
for
a
us.
free complimentary valet, which is really kind of hard to find on Siesta Key. So come on out and see us. You know,
Yes.
we're really excited to have you guys.
Well, if the great food was not reason enough, now we know that we don't have to worry about parking or traffic as much.
Correct.
So we can't wait to join you later on in the kitchen. Well, remember the 90s TV series Baywatch, featuring the beach babes and hot bods of Los Angeles County lifeguards? Good news, you don't have to go to California for that. We have award-winning water rescue teams right here on the Suncoast. Meet Lieutenant Carl Payne and Lieutenant Karen Burkett of Manatee County Beach Patrol. Welcome.
We're so happy to have you guys.
Yes.
And to know you're there when we need you.
And a big congratulations, you just won a big award. Tell us about it.
Joey, we did an amazing award. We were just awarded this year, 2017 Beach Patrol of the Year.
Ooh.
But yes, awesome. It was a great accomplishment by everybody involved in our division. Out of 38 rescue beach agencies in the state of Florida, we won.
Beautiful. That's awesome.
We had a great banquet, awesome award ceremony. It was terrific.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, you are so deserving, and we know that you work very hard, but for people who might not understand all that encompasses what you do, explain what a typical day might be like.
I'll let Karen explain this one.
You know, we really have challenges every day, different challenges. Some days it's crowds, like holidays, we get really busy, and people bring their families out. Then there's other times where we have storm events, where we have this low pressure system coming out into the Gulf of Mexico on a busy weekend.
Yes,
so
I don't know what you're talking about.
every day really is different. So we kind of prepare ourselves for whatever the day is going to be like. So a typical day is being there for the public, being in the eye of the public for information purposes, and there when they need our help in the water.
Yes. Yeah. Well, one aspect of that obviously is to protect people while they are swimming, protecting them from drowning. Yeah. And unfortunately, as we go into the summer, I know that the risk of drowning does increase just because of more people in the water. CPR is a way to tackle that. So I understand you've brought two quiet guests here. Show us a little bit of what the process is like when you get someone out of the water who may be suffering from having drowned.
Do you want to borrow my guy?
You keep that one.
Oh, okay, I'll keep you.
Linda, you go here. We're going to practice both ladies. I'm going to teach you guys.
Okay.
We're going to keep it very simple and sweet.
That's
so,
good.
So everybody can learn this
He
process.
has a better chance like
yes,
that.
Exactly.
Yes.
Instead of throwing everything at you like a whole CPR process, I'm going to start you with just hands-only CPR.
Okay.
What's going to happen here is this is if you're at a non-lifeguard beach, no one around you knows CPR. There's no medical services available to you. First step, always call 911.
Yes.
Okay, we never want to forget calling 911 first. Call 911, and then the next is just very simple. We're going to wrap our hands together, close them together, all right? Use a ball of your hand right in the middle of the chest. Yep, and we're going to push down 2 to 2.5 inches on an adult. Usually you don't need to get that specific if we're just doing hands-only CPR, but right in the center check, chest 2 to 2.5 inches, and we're going to go to a beat. You ready, Karen? It's going to be, you ever heard the song Staying Alive?
Yeah,
Love it.
Yeah. Little dance? Yeah.
Okay, go.
Staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. Perfect. So,
How are you doing
so
down
that
there?
beat, we're going to do compressions. Boom. Staying alive. Staying alive.
It's 100 to 120 compressions a minute.
Staying alive. Like
Now,
this.
right in the middle of the chest, or a little,
Yeah.
a little down.
We're going to go right, not in the middle of your chest. You're going to go right.
In between the breastbone there.
Yeah, right,
Right
between the
here.
breastbone.
Oh, I did
Perfect.
So
that
where
right.
the ribs start, sort of in the middle?
Yeah, so your xiphoid process technically right above it. So
Okay.
you can feel that, if you guys know what that is. Sorry, I'm going to.
No, and like in layman's terms, I
Yeah.
mean, let's say it. Is it below the nipple line? Is that
Yes,
the point?
Nipple line.
it'll be right below the
Okay.
nipple line
Okay.
at the bottom
Okay.
of the
Yeah.
sternum.
Da, da.
Stay in
How long do we
Singling.
do this?
until
Help
further
arrives?
medical advancement arrives. EMS, ambulance.
Which is why
EMTs.
calling for 911 help is important from the very beginning to know
Exactly.
someone's on their way.
Yep.
We have a question. If you are rescuing someone who you pulled out of the water, you all are doing your work on them. As passers-by, as beachgoers, we don't want to stand and be a crowd watching, but is there anything we can do? Should we offer to help, or should we let you do your work?
Every situation is a little different. If we need help, we'll definitely call someone to help.
Okay.
There's things that you can do, like keeping people away is one, handing us certain medical equipment. But if someone that doesn't have that knowledge, sometimes it's better to just take a step back, and if we need you, we'll let you know.
Okay. That's
If we're doing this and if water starts coming out of their mouth, do we leave them like this or turn their head?
That's going to be now we're advancing into
Okay.
really CPR steps. But
Got it.
yes, we want to keep the airway open.
So
Airway
this
the main
process is
priority.
keeping the person safe and
still,
keeping
and
them
keeping
keeping them
It's
breathing.
keeping the blood circulating.
Okay, until greater help arrives.
Exactly.
Correct.
One other big hazard that is out there is the rip currents. So explain to us a little bit about how we can look out for those and what we should know.
You know, it's sometimes hard to know when you're in the water if you're in a rip current. Usually what happens is that you start, you're on the sand standing, and all of a sudden you can't touch the bottom, and then you try to swim in, but the rip current's actually pulling you away from the sand, from being able to touch and from the beach. So the best thing to do is to relax, recognize that you're not going the way you want to go, and float or swim at a diagonal out of the rip current.
Okay, and as we just saw, so there are options to escape once we get past it?
Right, it'll let you go eventually. So the biggest point is to relax and not getting panic, because that's when you exert a lot of energy trying to go the way that you're not going to go. So if you can think about it, relax, because we panic, and just go out of the rip current or swim out a diagonal.
Another
float.
thing to look out for, especially as we're going into storm season, are when should we know to get out of the water if a storm is coming? I know you have a flag system,
We do.
but I know that not all of us know what that means, myself included. So talk us through the beach flags.
Flags, kind of like a stoplight is kind of an easy way to explain it. Green means go, low hazard, calm conditions. It means that there's very minimal hazards in the swim area. Yellow, it's the caution, medium hazard. Moderate swimmers that aren't very good need to be very cautious about entering the water. Red's high hazard. Basically, big warning. If you're going to the beach, check with the lifeguard to see a red flag. Find out why it's flying. Find out there's rip currents in the area. That's always a good thing to do anyway, is to check with lifeguards, just to say, hey, anything going on today that I need to know about. The double red flag. That is double red.
Stay away.
That means stay away. Water's closed to the public.
Don't touch the sand.
Yeah. Last but not least, we got the purple flag, which is the dangerous marine life. We won't get into that very much, but jellyfish, stingray, stuff like that will be why we fly that one.
Great to know. Thank you for keeping us safe. Again, congratulations on your award. Much deserved.
Thank you.
If you would like any more information about the Manatee Beach Patrol and other water safety topics, great website. You can go to mymanatee.org. Look up the water safety features. We'll be right back.
ABC 7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
This is an ABC 7 News Update.
Hello, I'm Scott Dennis. Here's what's coming up at 5 o'clock. A lot of questions surrounding Memorial Day weekend with the possibility of heavy rains. what local tourist spots are expecting ahead of the holiday. Plus, a new report says Obamacare rates are going up next year. What's driving that increase? Let's get a check on the weather now with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob.
Well, some changes today, Scott. What we do know is that this system appears to be becoming a tropical depression or tropical storm within the next couple of days as it marches its way north into the Gulf of Mexico. That's fairly certain right now at 90% chances. The news also that's changed is that the GFS model has shifted to the west, which is somewhat better news for us. Obviously, the further away the low is, the less lift and the fewer storms, but we're still going to get a lot of rainfall. Don't think we're not going to get the rain. We're still getting it right now with that tropical moisture around some big storms. We're fired up from Venice, southward all the way down to near Inglewood, and another cluster near Bayshore Gardens heading up toward Bradenton. More at 5.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
A decade of war has taken an unprecedented toll on our men and women in uniform.
Hundreds of thousands of our veterans are suffering from the trauma of war.
At Justice for Vets, we believe that every veteran should have the opportunity for treatment and restoration.
Get involved and go to justiceforvets.org.
Help put treatment within reach of veterans in crisis.
Veterans fought for our freedom. Now it's our turn to fight for theirs.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
Sigrid Olsen has been a famous name in fashion worldwide for over 30 years. When she moved to Sarasota in 2011, I was thrilled. I felt she put Sarasota on the fashion map. Sigrid said it changed her life, and she's written a book about it. Welcome, Sigrid. Thank you for moving here.
Oh, you're very welcome.
That's always nice to hear. Yeah.
Yes. I felt like, oh, wow, we're high fashion now because Sigrid's here.
Oh, thank you.
So tell us about this book you've written.
Well, this book is called My Life Redesigned. It's about my reinvention. I had a few catastrophes happen, and sometimes you look at these things and have to be grateful because it makes you see life in a different perspective.
Now, I look at you and say, this woman has everything. High fashion, she's a world citizen, she's done everything, but you went through some bad times, right?
Yeah, I mean, we all have gone through bad times, but I had a kind of a trio of catastrophes. I first had breast cancer, and I was working nonstop. I was a workaholic. I like to call myself a creative compulsive, not workaholic.
That's a nice one.
Anyway, it was the first time in like 20 years that I could slow down and take a month off, and all of a sudden I saw the gift in it because I had a mastectomy. I didn't have to have radiation or chemo, so that was a gift also. But I got to see, you know, what life is like when you slow down a little bit. And then the second one was when my business closed in 2008. It had been purchased by Liz Claiborne, a large corporation, in 1999, and then the economy kind of imploded in 2008, and I was one of many companies that they closed. But I thought I was going to be doing what I was doing for the rest of my life. You know, this is what you do. You start out
That's
and
who
you
you
think,
are.
this is what I'm going to be. Exactly, that's who I am. And they owned the rights to my name, so I couldn't use my name for quite a while in relation to fashion. So that was a little bit of an existential crisis and identity.
Plot twist.
Yes,
Call
a
it
little
a
plot
twist.
twist.
Yes,
Yes.
like
So then in 2013, after I moved here, my husband passed away suddenly riding his bike out on Longboat Key. He had a heart attack. And that somehow gave me the courage to go to the corporation and ask if I could have the use of my name back. And 9 months later, I was able to do that. So then I started designing clothes again. But that's really not what the book is about. The book is about finding the beauty and the magic in the smallest things when your life feels like it's falling apart. And every obstacle that I've overcome, people often ask me, how did I do it? Well, on the screen right now is the 8 things.
Oh.
And what I find is when I'm feeling out of sorts and unbalanced, I've really not paid attention to some of these 8 things. And there are things like being in nature, moving your body, quieting down, simplifying your life, connecting with other people, finding your community. And all of those things they kind of come naturally when your life starts to fall into place. And when my business closed in 2008, I didn't know what to do. I had a blank slate in front of me. And I couldn't design clothes. I couldn't do really anything. I had a non-compete for 2 years. So I
With yourself?
Your own name.
That's
Because
your own
they
name.
have your
I mean,
name.
it's hard to wrap your brain around.
It's hard to wrap your brain around it. So I just decided I would do what any smart person would do. I packed up a bag and went to the beach in Mexico for a few weeks without any agenda. And I talk about that in the book. It's called Clean Slate. It's like, okay, your life is a blank canvas, Sigrid. What do you want to do with it? So I just took off. I needed time to kind of air my poor little brain for a while. And and then
that's a lot.
But you sound like you're so happy now.
I am happier now, yes. And I am creating and designing clothes again. But what I did was when I went to this area in Mexico, in Tulum, that's where everybody goes for yoga retreats. And people were doing yoga on the beach and meditating. And I started doing yoga again. I had started in, there's some pictures from my retreats. We'll get to that in a minute. But I went to the beach, started meditating and doing yoga, sketching in my sketchbook, walking on the beach. I really didn't have any other responsibilities. And I decided then and there that I would do my own retreats and bring people to places, beautiful places like Tulum or Tuscany or Provence. I have Provence coming up in September. And help them find the beauty in their own lives.
Oh, that's what we need so much.
Right.
Thank you so much. And you can find Sigrid's new book on her website and on Amazon. And you can also visit her website to follow her fashions and her home decor lines. And don't miss her book signing. It's going to be at Art Ovation Hotel on June 13th. Next, we'll tell you where to find the big Memorial Day celebration.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
At Boys and Girls Clubs, it's not just about trying new things.
Tanya, come here.
Learning the right steps.
2, 3, 4.
Or making contact. It's not just about exploring the future. It's about helping them build it. It's about making a connection. It's about proving every kid and teen who enters our doors has what it takes. Great futures start here.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Are you a food lover, restaurant goer, or home cook? Then check out My Suncoast Dining on MySuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, and helpful step-by-step videos. And you'll love the restaurant guide with direct links to your favorite Suncoast eateries. Whether you're cooking in or dining out, whet your appetite with tasty tips from Chef Judy at MySuncoast.com/dining.
When ABC 7 declares a first alert weather day, it means we can expect major changes to weather conditions here along the Suncoast.
It means there could be severe, potentially dangerous weather ahead.
We tell you when a First Alert Weather Day is coming because we want you to be prepared.
A First Alert Weather Day is an advance warning. We'll let you know about any changes in the weather when the first signs appear.
ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Now here's a great way to celebrate Memorial Day in true old Florida style. Snook Haven, along with the Suncoast Blues Society, present the 7th annual Mayaca River Blues Festival. It's Monday, Memorial Day, from 11 until 6 p.m., and it always has a patriotic theme. Going to Snook Haven is like stepping back in time. There's going to be great food. There's going to be awesome music on 2 stages, and right now, it's on. Just keep checking the weather to make sure how that part goes. Next, Siesta Key Summer House is in the kitchen.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC 7 shows on your streaming device.
Peterson Toyota of Sarasota offers hundreds of models to choose from. And now you can take your shopping experience to the next level with SRQ Plus. You'll love its added benefits exclusively at Peterson Toyota of Sarasota or toyotaofsarasota.com.
Army National Guard soldiers serve to give back to their country and their community. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for benefits such as health and life insurance, education benefits, and retirement and VA home loan benefits. Visit nationalguard.com to learn more.
This is an ABC 7 News Update.
Hello, I'm Jacqueline Matter. Here's what we're working on for 5 o'clock. Summer is almost here, meaning kids and teens will be out and about across the Suncoast. How MCAT is providing a safe way for them to get around. Taking a quick look at First Alert traffic right now, construction at the I-75 and State Road 64 interchange is causing some minor backups as you merge onto the interstate from 64. Now let's get a check on our First Alert weather forecast with Bob.
Traffic is coming to a standstill along I-75 where it's been raining heavy in some places down south Sarasota County, right there near Venice and the Venetian. Boy, some heavy rain. It's developing along the sea breeze front. It's moving to the west. Expect wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour with that particular cell. Also near Bayshore Gardens heading toward Cortez. Look out, this is drifting to the west. Right now the southern end of Anna Maria Island, also the north end of Longboat Key near Whitney Beach. Some heavy rainfall, and you see some frequent lightning strikes as well. A little bit more going on. Details on all this and the tropical update at 5.
Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7, weekdays starting at 5.
Since 2004, Embracing Our Differences has used the power of art and education to promote diversity. One way it accomplishes this is through its annual outdoor exhibition of 45 billboard-sized works of art, each accompanied by an inspirational quote. Join us in creating a community that is inclusive for all, where differences are embraced and individuality is celebrated. We invite you to celebrate the voices and visions of diversity and inclusion at this year's exhibit at Sarasota's Island Park.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with a family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, fishing, or biking and hiking. Or play the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy the flavors of the Black Belt. Book your adventure at our lodges or stay in the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
WWSB ABC 7 is an equal opportunity employer, and we're looking for qualified people to join our dynamic team. For a list of current openings and to apply online, Visit www.mysuncoast.com/contact/employment. If you're a motivated team player and you want a rewarding career in a fun, fast-paced working environment, WWSB ABC 7 could be the perfect fit for you. Check out our list of openings now.
So I kind of grew up all across the country. I come from 5 generations of military men. My dad is still active duty. My grandpa is retired Marines. I like going for runs with my dog. I love, taking her out to the dog beach over in Venice. There are so many things here to do on the Suncoast. My goal every day when I come into work at ABC 7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
Coming up Friday at 4 on Suncoast View, we are time-stepping our feet to a better, fitter body. It's National Tap Dance Day. We will get a lesson, and we'll also learn about the many benefits of tap dancing, from exercise to mental and physical coordination. Comedian Carlos Mencia is bringing big laughs to McCurdy's Comedy Theater. We'll chat with him about this weekend's shows. Plus, Sarasota Mom's blog brings us the best Suncoast summer camps, and Gold Rush Barbecue joins us in the kitchen.
Welcome back. We are here with Chef Evan Gatzman from the Siesta Key Summer House, one of my favorite chefs on the Suncoast, and now one of my very, very, very favorite restaurants.
Thank you so much.
You have knocked it out of the park. I've eaten there 3 times now,
and
you're killing it.
Oh, great. Now, what are we making today?
Yes.
So today we're going to do one of our really popular salads. We're going to do a salt roasted beet salad. So most people say, is it going to be salty? No, what we're doing is we're extracting some of that moisture out to intensify the flavor in the beet.
Okay.
One of the things too, when you're roasting beets, you want to make sure you kind of get same size beets. If you have some big, small, they're not going to cook evenly. So what we're going to do, we're just going to rub some olive oil over them, and they're already sitting on a bed of salt, and then we roast that in the oven until they're fork tender.
Okay.
How long does that usually take?
Like I said, depending on the size of the beet, it could be about 40 minutes, it could be an hour and a half.
All right. So
how long for these take?
These, I would say about 35 to 40 minutes on these.
Okay.
All right. So we bring those out, we cool them, we chill them down, and then we're going to go ahead and peel them. A trick that I like to kind of tell people is use a paper towel, use a dish towel, and you can, it just comes right off like you're almost rubbing a baseball.
Oh, okay.
And it really just kind of peels right off.
What?
That's amazing.
Instead of using a peeler, you lose a lot of your product.
Yeah.
You know,
I did not know this.
It's one of those easy tricks.
Does this work for potatoes?
I haven't tried it on potatoes,
but for beets,
we'll try it. Yeah, it definitely works for beets.
Wow.
So I usually eat the skin. Is that not a thing?
You can, as long as you wash it really well. We take it off because of presentation factor, so we get that nice, vibrant color.
Okay.
So the next thing we're going to kind of talk about is the vinaigrette. The one thing we do is we make sure we choose a wild Maine blueberry. It's got, if you can see, they're nice and small.
Let's see here so we can see.
There's a lot less moisture and water content in that, so the blueberry is really flavorful.
Okay.
So we take that, we mix that with a little bit of maple syrup, a little bit of mustard, and we have this Italian apple balsamic vinegar, which I know you tried.
I lost my mind over that.
You can drink this stuff, so that's really one of the key factors in our dressing, and we also do dress a little bit of the arugula kale salad with it as well.
Oh, great. All right.
All right, so maybe I've never peeled my beets because it's annoying.
That's fine.
And this is like 5 seconds and you're done.
We've
so
got
thank
some
you
already
for this
chopped
tip.
up, yes. So we can start to build the salad.
All right, yes, yeah.
Okay.
Let's build the
So
salad.
right here we have an organic mix of baby arugula and baby kale. We like the baby kale because it's not as tough, you know, it's not as woodsy. So what we're going to do is hit it with a little bit of olive oil. And then here we've got our blueberry vinaigrette.
I like the blueberry. I like the idea of the blueberry with a little spice.
It has a little pepper,
right?
a little pepper spice.
Oh, this is going to be good.
And then we have some crumbled goat cheese, and then we make a pistachio praline, a little bit of Kahlua brown sugar, and then a little bit of salt and vanilla, and we actually just roast that off till they become almost candied, if you will.
Oh my goodness.
So I think it's important to note that you've really done a good job including vegetarians, and even though you're a seafood and steakhouse,
right, we want to accommodate everybody
coming
through the door. So
Wow.
we make a nice little amount on that. We don't want to overdress on this because, like I said, that vinegar has a lot of flavor to it. You know, especially when it comes to vinegars, I always go a little bit more expensive because you want to get that punch, that flavor from it.
All right, so we have the base of the arugula.
We have
and
the base of the arugula.
dressing.
One of the things too, we also make a beet puree with both of our colors. So Joe, if you wanted to make a couple dots on that side.
Okay, there we go. Oh,
Good
well,
job, Joey.
My work is not as good
But
as
you know what,
yours,
guys?
but
It's, you know, even if you're
that's
having
why
a dinner
we come see
party,
you.
it's fun to have fun with it. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be that certain presentation. It can be,
Smiley
it can be any,
faces.
yeah, you know, have fun with it. So we're gonna put a little goat cheese over the top, give you that
looking
creamy
good.
tanginess, and then go ahead and also top it with just a little bit of our pistachio praline.
And now, quickly walk us through the rest of the menu. This is an amazing salad, but let's talk a little bit about some of your steak options.
Yeah, so right here in front of us, you know, we have our 40-ounce porterhouse for two. We sous vide that for 6 hours, so that's absolutely amazing. We have our dry age 18-ounce over here. We do good amount of work with Nyman Ranch. We have a Nyman pork chop.
Source.
We have a Nyman strip. So all of our beef is all natural. 90% of everything is prime out of Minnesota.
And of course, great seafood, great menu at Siesta Key Summer House. You want to check it out. Thank you so much, Chef Evan.
my pleasure.
We
Thank you
can't
guys for
wait to
having
visit
me.
you, and we're glad you're back on Siesta Key. Thank you, Nikki. Always a pleasure.
Come to the summer house. It's amazing.
Yes. All right.
You
Take
don't have
some
to fight the
time.
traffic anymore.
Enjoy the Suncoast view.